Punk, you walking all over the keyboard and causing problems there, dude. You're a dude. Okay. Hey, brother.
Hey, Jake, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, man?
Oh, I'm hanging in there.
Good to hear.
Just
Good.
got to the shack here. Got Shiloh here with me.
Oh, nice. See, I'll move my cameras a little bit easier. I got this dickhead right here. Good deal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to come sit with me in here. He's just kind of been hanging around me today. So
how many cats do you have?
Dude, we've still got 4, man. It's crazy. We're outnumbered by kitty cats around this place. It's like you guys with dogs, you know.
Yeah, we got 3 dogs. It's a hairy predicament over there.
It is, isn't it? Keeping the house clean's a real treat. So I keep seeing cat hair everywhere. We'll get this underway, though. Let's get an introduction. Thanks, guys. Welcome. It's Karmic transmission number 26. Dude, we've been doing this for a year, Clint. You believe that?
I can't believe it.
It's nuts. 52 weeks in a year, so 26 transmissions puts us at a year mark. It's nuts.
Where does the time go?
You know, that's what I've been thinking today too, is just where does it all go? Because it flew by. You know, for us, everything being in a pandemic and slowing down, the time sure did not slow down at all, you know?
No, it didn't.
So, well, man, you know, tonight I kind of had a little bit of a different idea. Last week I did a getting to know you with just me and Ayame because I figured why not? You know, we haven't really just talked about us and what we're doing and had a chance to break it down to the 3 of us or even just the 2 of us. So I was figuring we'd give that a shot for tonight and see where it goes, you know. We could throw in somebody as we move forward, just kind of see what kind of interaction we get. But for the most part, I just kind of wanted to hang out with my older brother for a minute, you know?
Well, I appreciate that, man. I hope I can keep up with you. I'm kind of a man of few words these days and fighting a pretty good headache right now, but we'll power through.
Dude, I know how those go. I wasn't feeling the best. I've been feeling a little dehydrated today, so I've been fighting a little bit of a headache myself. It's no fun.
No, they aren't.
So hopefully we can come up with something fun. I was actually, when I got in here, I've got that mountain of magic cards in the corner, and every time I think of talking with you, magic is like one of the first things that comes up. And I was thinking, you remember playing with Shirley and Trenton back in the day?
Yeah.
We had some epic games with those guys.
And then who was the fog dog guy?
Nick or something like that. What was his name? I can't remember.
He was chill.
Yeah, they were really fun people to play cards with.
Shirley was awesome. She was a big Kansas City Chiefs fan, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought about her when they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
I
bet her and Don were all jazzed about that.
Dude, I'll bet they were ecstatic. Her husband, Don, was a neat guy. He was funny to talk to, you know?
Yeah, never wore a shirt.
No. Every day, I remember just coming in and he'd always be lounging out until he had to go to work because he worked that night shift at the hospital, you know?
Well, and we met Shirley through Wes because Wes was living in front of her and he said that she played magic. But yeah, he said that he'd never wore a shirt. In the dead of winter, he'd take the garbages out in shorts and slippers and no shirt.
Yeah, he was a funny guy. I house sat that one time for him, and man, their place was just crazy. That place was just all the hunting stuff everywhere, and just because they had like 4 or 5 kids in that little they were in that duplex, you know, and so it was just there was stuff everywhere, and then they had like 4 dogs and stuff. It was nuts just babysitting that house and watching over all those animals. It was crazy.
Yeah. Now didn't they have a little dog or?
They had a couple of dogs, and they had all those birds. They had that giant bird cage in the corner of their living room, remember? With all their
Yeah.
finches and all kinds of stuff. And yeah, I stayed for like 4 or 5 days and fed all the animals and looked after their stuff, and it
I
was
didn't know
funny.
you did that.
Yeah, yeah, and she traded me magic cards to do it.
Well, I hope you got some good ones.
I did. I got a couple of rares. That's back when they called me the little goblin boy
Yeah.
because Trenton had that deck. You remember it was like this tall, had like 300 cards in it, and my little goblin deck just ate them up time and time again because you could never get through it. So,
Trenton was a trip. He was kind of like the comic book guy.
dude, very apt description. He was very much like the comic book guy. Knew
Yeah,
the
you beat him,
subtext.
and then he'd go through his deck and tell you what he was going to do, what he was about to
Yeah.
do.
Man, if I'd have gotten to this card and this card, can you see how quick you would have just died if I'd have gotten to these cards? He was
Yeah.
crack up,
Of
dude.
course, I'm one to talk. I kind of did that to Nisha the other night
Oh
because
yeah.
we built Nisha a really good elf deck,
Uh-huh.
and I caught myself pulling a Trenton, pulling my next card. See, my next card was this, and I was going to kill everything.
Right.
But yeah, I remember when my dog Shiloh ate an entire cube of butter off of Shirley's table.
Dude, that was hilarious because we like walked into the house and out of the kitchen and then went back into the kitchen and the butter was gone and Sheila was just sitting there.
Yeah, yeah. Shirley was a good sport about it, though. I remember
She
she thought
was.
it was
She
pretty
was a
funny.
great sport.
I never did buy her a new cube of butter, though. Shows you what kind of a friend I am.
Now, I think we were just lucky that Sheila didn't make a mess in the house after eating a cube of butter. That's all.
Yeah, it'd be neat to catch up with them again. I think they moved to Tooele, didn't they?
Yeah, that's kind of what I heard last. I haven't heard from them since, geez, that was like junior high and high school time frame. So it's been, almost over 20 years.
Yeah, their kids are
Crazy.
probably all grown up and everything.
Mhm. Bet you they're married and got kids of their own too.
Yeah,
But,
it's a
yeah,
time warp, brother.
it really is. It really is. And it's kind of crazy because back then you were the combo king. You were the guy that had all these wicked combo decks because you had all that time to just kind of sit and tweak. And that Megrim deck has always been lethal, man. That was one that I was always kind of mimicking in my own way when I built mine.
Yeah, I'm kind of out of touch now. I can't build decks like I used to could, and the cards are so overpowered now. It's just crazy.
Are they?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
pretty overpowered.
See, I
It's
haven't
fun.
really outside of those cards that we got for Christmas. I that seems like forever ago almost. I hadn't really looked at any of the new Magic cards, but there's some really OP kind of things in there, just way over the top.
Yeah, yeah, the god creatures, and
Hmm.
it's changed a lot. So a lot of our old decks get their butts kicked.
Yeah.
These young kids, and then they go online and figure everything out,
Hmm.
how to get the best. You can buy singles online and just order your killer decks, and it's a whole different deal now.
Well, it was bad enough. You remember playing at Mind Games? You remember we'd go to like Central Park when we were working and grab
Hmm.
burgers and stuff, and then run over to the card shop and play cards and buy singles and dink
Hmm.
around. And I remember that one day that we were actually playing with guys at the card shop, and there was that dude that literally sat with the Duelist magazine open and digging through their singles, going, "I want to buy that one. I want to," just building the deck from the magazine. And it's like this was at the time it had to have been like the 1999 world champion deck or something like that.
Yeah,
And and that blew me away that guys would do that. But to think that you've got it all right here, just it's insane.
Yeah, you can put anything together if you want to spend the money.
Hmm.
But it's crazy. Some of those cards, those old cards I have, are worth some bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought that cards would be an investment, huh?
You never know.
Yeah. Well, it's true, man. It's like kids with Star Wars collectibles and toy collectibles. Ayame, growing up, she had this insane the Lost World Jurassic Park collection and display of like toys and boxes and all that kind of stuff. I can only imagine that's got to be worth some money now. You know.
Yeah, I years ago I went into a pawn shop and about crapped because they were selling old GI Joe stuff and it was going for big money. And I had all that stuff. I ended up selling at a yard sale before we moved.
Hmm.
But you remember how much GI Joe stuff I had? It was crazy,
Oh
and I
yeah,
kept
man,
it pretty
dude.
good. I didn't trash my toys too
The
much.
Cobra Command Center was awesome. It wasn't until me and Rex got our hands on them that they got trashed. But
Yeah,
you
yeah, you
know,
guys inherited a few things too.
dude, we had quite the toy collection from spanning a whole bunch of years, just that we got from you and Dad and hand me downs from everybody else, on top of the Ghostbuster gear and everything else that we got. We definitely had quite a few things to play with when we were kids. You know.
Yeah, that was the fun part about being your guys' brother, being a little bit older than you guys, able to show you what was cool and what wasn't, and get you into
True.
different things. Because we're like what 10 years apart.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Am I
that
8 years older than you and 10 years older than Rex? Is that
no,
what it
you're
is?
9 years and change. It's like 9 years and 7 months older than me, and then you're a little over 7 years older than Rex.
Well, no, I'd be
Yeah,
older than.
because you were born in
Well,
'75,
no,
right?
you're older than Rex, so I wouldn't be
Yeah.
less older than Rex than you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah. My math is backwards on that one. So yeah, you're like 9 years older than me and 11 years older than Rex. That's what it would be,
Yeah.
right in there. See, I my head's not keeping it together tonight either. But yeah, it was
Oh
cool
man, I
because
tell you.
that difference gave so much. It really gave me and Rex a lot of depth growing up. Because, dude, I remember the very first Rush CD you gave me was Signals, and I still have that CD. I love that CD. It was one of my favorite CDs that I ever listened to. You know, and it was listening to you and your band and getting into Rush and stuff that if you weren't that much older than us, I don't think we would have. You know,
Yeah.
because that's definitely a taste beyond our years, considering Rush started in the late '60s and I wasn't born until '84. So, you know,
Yeah. Well, Rush, man, they were timeless, man.
they really are.
So we lost some great virtuosos this past year with Neil Peart and Eddie Van Halen, and
Yeah.
go back before that, Prince and Chris Cornell, and there's been a lot of great artists that have gone.
Hmm. Lots of great inspiration. Well, and it was cool because listening to those guys is what got you started in the Scary Treehouse. You know,
Yeah.
and the Scary Treehouse started all kinds of stuff. Like we talked about, Psycho Senior. Those Psycho Senior things were just epic, man.
Yeah, they were goofy, man. They were
So,
goofy. So yeah, that's Ben and Brian and me going back and making those, and Brian is a filmmaker artist now, and
mm,
he's gone on to do, we did Unicorn City with him, and then yeah, and Ben's in. Is he in Vietnam now, or
was it that or Thailand? I thought he was somewhere over that way, because didn't
no?
he
He's
didn't he
in.
get married over
Well, he
there?
was in Korea for a while.
Mm,
Yeah, he married a Korean gal, and then, but now I think he's teaching in Vietnam.
dude, that's awesome. That's way cool.
Yeah, and he says it's like paradise over there. It's really nice.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that might have to be a trip to go down there and visit him.
We'll see.
Because Vietnam would be cool. I've heard a lot of good things about Vietnam. So
Yeah. Well, growing up, the news was rough, from the '80s after the war and stuff. But
yeah.
it's quite a place now. They got some nice cities and stuff.
Mhm. Well, it's crazy. Rex and I, when we were over in Japan back in December of 2019, um, we were we were out in, I want to say it was Kyoto area, or I can't remember. But we had been out kind of sightseeing. We come back to the station to head back to our hotel, and there's only two other people on the station, and the dude's wearing a University of Utah baseball cap. And we got talking with them, and they were a couple from Park City, but they told us just a whole bunch of stories about how they had gone to Vietnam the previous year, and it was just unreal. They said the same kind of thing: paradise, just great place to go visit, lots to do. Um, so it was just really small world. But yeah, it was like I looked at the guy, I was like, dude, great team that you're wearing there, and just
Yeah.
we got talking. So because yeah, it's funny how small the world actually is when you get down to it.
Yeah, it really is. And it's getting smaller and smaller, and everybody's
Hmm.
more connected,
Yeah, it really
which is
is.
good and bad, the yin and yang of everything.
Hmm. Well, and that's where it's neat to know good people and have some fun projects because, like, working with Ben on Unicorn City, or Brian Leffler and those guys on Unicorn City, those were great times, man. That was a lot of fun. I was actually going
Yeah.
to ask you, what do you, outside of Unicorn City, what do you think's been your next like funnest shoot that you've gone out and done?
Mm, maybe this movie I was in called Adopting Trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lee Gardner and those guys made it, and it was just fun because I got to play the bad guy
Hmm.
in that. There was a lot of funny dialogue, and there was a lot of freedom with the script, so we get to improv and stuff.
Very cool.
And that was a lot of fun to be part of.
Hmm.
And Riot was pretty fun. That was the one with Dolph Lundgren and Chuck Liddell when I played that security officer.
Uh-huh.
I never got to meet Dolph Lundgren, but I met Chuck Liddell.
Dude, that would have been awesome.
So that was fun. And this last thing I did was pretty fun. I got to play twin brothers that were like ghosts. They're old miners that freak out these kids in
Uh,
this Snow Valley thing I did. That was pretty fun. But Unicorn City took the cake. That was the funnest shoot.
Dude, Unicorn City was a lot of fun. Mom was saying that she loved Warplay. Warplay was fun. It was a lot of fun doing that one. Unicorn City, though, I have to agree. Meeting John Grice and a lot of those guys, it was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. John was great, man. He's a
So,
good guy.
well, and it lucked out because you doing all that stuff, you were kind enough to even consider having me and Rex tag along. That's the one thing that's been awesome with you as an older brother, man, is you were always ready to jump in and let us tag along with you, and it was always fun. So
Yeah. Well, you guys were good kids, man. And yeah, I love my brothers and my family. So I'm kind of like, the more the merrier. If everybody's kind of on the same page and good vibes going on,
mhm.
come on down. Let's do this.
Yeah, well, we lucked out because it also let us come down and that Halloween thing that we did with Ken, the pumpkin. What was it? The pumpkin fest and all that stuff. That was
Yeah.
a lot of fun. Rex and his goofy Cockney accent running around. Looked
Oh,
more like a
Rex.
leprechaun than a tradesmith, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you guys were great. Rex was great as that grave robber. Wasn't he a, or I was a grave robber. He was a,
He did he
he
ran
was
the
like,
parts trading.
that's right. Yeah. And he did some good stuff with us at Comic Con too.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
Yeah. Ken really loved what he was doing. The good old days.
Hmm.
I used to do some pretty fun things.
Those Comic Cons were neat. It was always one that man, I always wish that he would have just started that park a touch sooner, you know, because he really had some momentum going on.
Yeah. Sooner and slower rollout. He bit off more than he could chew, and then COVID didn't help anybody.
No, I
That
didn't
was
even
more the void or any of that.
yeah, I didn't even think that might have actually hit him a little bit harder, you know, because yeah, if he did have the park going, he couldn't have even let people in. That's crazy.
Well, in the virtual reality company we started, the void,
Mm,
was humming along and then ran into some issues. And then COVID was kind of the nail in the coffin because
yeah.
you're going out to these locations and putting on sharing masks and headgear, and then everything gets shut down anyway.
Mm,
So that was it for that gig.
yeah, I didn't even think of that one. I had, once he kind of got, because didn't the Void get bought out by Disney,
No, I don't think so.
or they leased to it or something like
Yeah,
that, right? Because they were doing Star Wars and a bunch of other properties from them, right?
right, right. We paid to use their IP and stuff.
Mm,
Is that the right
yeah, yeah. The
IP?
IP, you pay for the licensing rights to use their stuff. Um,
Yeah, and they helped us put together stuff, and
yeah, and I didn't even think though that even with all of that, COVID probably would have just shut him down because yeah, you couldn't sharing those headgear and all those chest pieces. It was cool. That one time that we came down and did the park, it was a lot of fun. Um, but yeah, I could definitely see where they might be at higher risk and more concerned with how everybody shared everything.
yeah,
So
yeah, it was a fun gig. Now I got to figure out what I'm going to do.
well, that's always a tricky one because everybody runs into those things. I think everybody kind of wonders what they're going to do one day because Dad. I remember talking with him one time when I was like in my 20s over at the shop. And I was like, I don't, I want to figure out what I want to do. And he looks at me and goes, don't you think that's what I'm trying to do? And it literally shocked me because I was like, wait a minute, this is my dad. Like, he
Right.
knows what he is and but everybody I think kind of jumps into that sometimes because it's weird how quickly things can change. Like the Void, things moving along, everything's going all right. And then something like COVID hits or something else and it's just gone, you know?
Yeah, but it
So
keeps life interesting, keeps us on our toes, and
it does.
makes you thankful for what you have. Or it
Mm.
should anyway.
Oh, yeah. If you
But
don't have a little bit of gratitude, it makes things a lot harder, you know?
yeah, amen. And where I'm lucky is I just have great people in my life. I may not get it right all the time, but I figured out how to surround myself with great people and been fortunate enough to have great people come and go through my life.
Dude, you hit the nail on the head there, man. It's, you know, I usually tell people that I'm just a pale reflection of the greatness that I see in others because that's all that it is. If you surround yourself with good people and you're lucky enough to have people in your corner, good family, good friends, um, there's a lot that you can get done, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Like I actually lately like find myself unworthy of the people in my life. Or at least, that's how I feel. Like I don't deserve as great a people as I have in my life. and critters.
Dude, you
Not
can't
sure.
leave out the critters. You definitely can't leave out the critters because they do make it, and that's the thing, man. That gratitude is huge, you know, because the only reason they're in our lives at all is because we deserve to have them there in some degree, and it's because we're doing something with them too. So it's the best thing that we can be is grateful to have them around. Because I know that feeling. I mean, dude, with all the time that I get to spend around Rex and stuff like that, it's an easy thing to kind of forget just how incredible it is to be around somebody willing to put so much on hold and willing to give up so much to build something bigger. It's you can lose sight of that when you're around it so often, you
Oh
know.
yeah.
And I oftentimes forget to tell them just how grateful I am that I can spend so much time with my family. You know, how many people get to hang out with their brothers as often as we do and talk about things like changing the world or, you know, how good our critters can be. How good critters can be.
Critters. Critters.
See? So,
Critters, Shiloh.
because it's
Yeah,
true.
I marvel at how great a men you and Rex have become, and I relish the times that we get to spend together, you know, and yeah, I mean, you guys are just solid people. You're constant, you know, you're constant, solid state. It's good in my aquarium here.
That's a good way of putting it. A solid state in an aquarium, you know.
You guys are a rock, you know what I mean?
Well, I try. That's the hard part. Is being a rock isn't exactly the easiest thing. Sometimes all you want to do is fall down. You know
What's that?
that being a rock can be hard because rocks a lot of times just kind of tip over and fall down and roll down hills, and they can do a lot of things, but they get beat up. You know, it's different. But no, it's we have a good inspiration in our lives. Look at our parents and stuff like that. You know
Yeah.
that that business that we call Rapco that we've all come from, it's the same thing. Oh, treat time for Shiloh's. But it's there's always been a stability there for us, and it's easier to be stable when you've been around stable things. You know, because I would say you've been just as stable for your kids and everything else, man.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't think of myself as, I mean, if I was going to describe myself, stable wouldn't be
I
one of
tell
the
you,
first
solid as a rock.
acronyms, huh?
I said you're solid as a rock, man.
I'm getting kind of pudgy, actually. Too many Ben and Jerry's.
The Kirkland ice cream bars have been doing me in lately.
Oh, dude, that's the thing with garden here is it's making me fat and lazy. It's like sit in the shack and nothing to do, and that half-baked Ben and Jerry's calls my name, and then I look over at the dog, and the dog's looking at me like, "When are we gonna get our treat? When are we gonna go to Maverick and get our treat, Dad? Because you let me lick the bowl." And the dogs talk me into it every time. I can't.
Dude, those critters, they are pretty empowered, is what they are.
Yeah,
You know, that's all it takes sometimes is a look or just a tail wag, and the next thing you know, you're putting on your shoes and walking down to buy some Ben and Jerry's. I haven't had that one half baked. Is that what
you
it is?
haven't? Oh my gosh, it's chocolate and vanilla. So it's chocolate with brownie chunks and vanilla with cookie dough.
Oh,
So you just
dang.
get this chocolatey cookie dough, dreamy goodness.
Oh.
And that's why I bring the dogs to the shack is so that I have somebody to talk me into going to get another one every night.
Dude,
You know,
that's
as long as
funny.
I can blame it on somebody else, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Shiloh just had to have one. You know, I don't eat a lot of ice cream anymore. I try to go to limit on it because I don't do a lot of dairy, but that's one that it sounds like I might have to try.
Yeah, the Ben and Jerry's half baked.
Hmm.
It's good.
See, I'm an old school spumoni guy. I like a good spumoni ice cream. You know.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for the cookie dough.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
you've always been chocolate chip or chocolate chunk cookies. That's always been your kind of thing. You were always
Yep.
the chocolate guy.
Yep. I'm not a real candy guy, but I'm all about the chocolate. The darker, the better.
Yeah. Whereas, Rex and me, we were always the chewy, give us gummy bears or gummy worms or all that kind of stuff, or
Yeah.
sour. We're big sour folk.
In fact, check it out. I already went.
Oh, nice.
So that's it.
Dude, that does look good.
I stopped before we got here. Crank the fridge up and put it in there and save it for later.
Nice. That's awesome. Oh, man. So, well, dude, that's aside from the Ben and Jerry's ice cream, have you had much time to um write? I know that you were talking about wanting to do a little bit of writing over there at the shack. Um,
I've had the time, but
hmm,
not the eye of the tiger.
not the eye of the tiger. That
Yeah.
dude, getting a hold of that El Tigre eye is hard. It's a tough one sometimes. You know.
So I sit down, I try to read, and I keep having to read that same paragraph over and over. And then I try to write and realize how crazy I am and then get discouraged and quit. But I just need to keep at it.
Well, dude, if you're writing crazy, that's the best thing to do because you can always refine the crazy. You know, like um, they've got that thing on Netflix where they talk about the movies that made us. Have you watched any of those?
Yeah.
So in that one, they
The
talk
toys that
about
made us, the movies that made us,
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. They've got all those series as well. In
yeah.
that movies that
Yes.
made us one, they talk about Ghostbusters, right? And the thing that stood out to me most was that the Ghostbusters movie they made was nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing like the original script that Dan Aykroyd put together back in the day. Because his whole thing, as they were putting, it was like crazy, you know. So to me, it's better to start with the crazy idea because you can go through that and start to weed things into an actual cohesive story, you know. But if you're not
Yeah.
willing to come at it full bore and give it your all, then you're not even gonna have something to start with. You know, it's like that. We've told you about the boxing movie that we've talked about, right?
No.
Well, we'll have to get into some of those because we've got just crazy ideas for uh, um, like different uh, movies or different like books, even little skits that we've talked about doing. We've come up with tons of that stuff, but it always starts as like a Hail Mary, crazy far out there idea is usually where they start. So, because, yeah, man, that's usually the best place, because it's in the crazy that the fun comes out.
Oh yeah. And I don't really mean a good kind of crazy. Just lately I've just been having a lot of trouble focusing on things and
Mhm.
memory recollection and all kinds of stuff. I don't know what my deal is lately.
Hmm. Well, that does make it a little bit harder. If you're that memory, the best part of a story is a lot of times that little bit of yourself that you bring into it. I can see where that can make it harder. You know.
Yeah, my beard's getting gray, but I'm not old enough to be getting Alzheimer's yet.
Rex was just saying, are you getting much sleep lately? Are you sleeping at all?
Yeah, I sleep plenty.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Because I know that's one thing that I usually have a hard time with, and you
Shit,
don't.
Rex, you ought to jump on here.
Yeah, we ought to invite him on, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
See if he wants to here.
Your mom's been talking too, looks
Hmm.
like.
Hang on one second. What do you say, Rexy? See what he says here. Hang on. There you go.
There he is.
Hey,
Looked like Zeus or Poseidon or something.
you should see a thing to. There you go.
There we go. Hey guys, what's going on?
How we doing, Rexy?
Good. Well, you didn't need to get me all involved in this. Where'd Clint go?
He's
I'm
here.
here.
Oh, why am I not seeing?
When you're on
it.
your phone, I don't think it gives it the right scaling.
Okay.
We're all there. We're all here. There's
you hear
3
me?
beards.
Yeah.
So
Well, I was just when you were saying that you're having some memory stuff, that got me kind of nervous. I'm like, that's no fun at all, man. But I get sometimes in that kind of a fog too. But yeah.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
been real foggy lately. I'm not trying to bum everybody out or anything.
Oh no, I was just like, if I don't get much sleep, it'll happen and other things like that. But yeah, it's yeah, so it's kind of like what you guys were talking about where you get lost and not knowing what you're supposed to do. But once you find a little bit of a step, something like a little bit of a grain of rice along the trail, usually that helps clear some of that fog up too. So that's
But
always
I'm
good
more of a
thing.
mashed potatoes guy.
Hansel and Gretel cannot leave bits of mashed potatoes along the trail. That can't happen. Because if you have mashed potatoes and no gravy, I ain't coming to the party. So,
Right.
could you imagine clumps like some idiot picking up mashed potatoes off the? Ooh.
Well, could you see a couple of kids carrying a giant pot of mashed potatoes and following it up and dropping it behind them?
Yeah, hold on, sir. You carry this. Friggin' spuds.
Potatoes all over their
Yeah.
All over their little digits.
Yeah.
Plump little children.
But yeah, so once you get going, things start to move. Because I'm telling you, we've been kicking some butt. I went and met with the accountant the other day. We've got some cool things coming for Karma. We just need to buckle down and do a little bit of the actual legwork, like the typing and that kind of crap, which is always the worst part for me. So I like talking a lot more than I like typing. And that's why my text messages are typed to text, and everybody thinks I'm like Lenny from Ice and Man a little bit. They're like, oh, he doesn't use any, those words properly.
He don't speak no words so good.
Yeah.
No, it's those little steps that get you. That's what I have a hard time with, the little legwork things, the semantics and the logistics, not often copacetic with creatives.
Well, it's the part that zaps that exactly that, the creativity. It's the part that it takes diligence and persistence and incredible intelligence, but it doesn't take much creativity. And so I can see, that's how come accountants are very important, because I hate that crap. But some guys like Ben love to do it. And it's
with me
good thing.
Too, laziness is a huge thing, man. I just get too lazy.
Well, that's always
Oh.
a
That happens to everybody sometimes.
yeah.
It's
That's a yeah. You should like we were talking that one night, Clint. Laziness together is sometimes hard because I've been sitting there thinking about that push-ups like we were talking and threatening, and I'm still nervous because I know that I'd find ways to not do it, but I think it would be fun because
You guys want to do the push-up challenge here?
we should.
Commit?
what's
Should
the
we do
push-up
it?
challenge?
If we do it and I make this a video of us saying that we're going to do the push-up challenge and we don't do any push-ups, that'll put a lot of egg on our face, right?
Right.
That won't be ideal. So what's the challenge? What would we do?
You just got to do like 20 push-ups a day, don't you?
We can make one up. You want to do 20? You want to do more, less?
Well, we can
How
do
long?
20 the first week and 30 the second week, or I don't know.
What do you think, Jakey?
Well, this is the first I'm hearing about it, but push-ups. Yeah, I guess.
That's exactly what we did when we first mentioned it. We were like, "Oh yeah," because that just wow. Look at that.
Because to me, I guess if we were going to be realistic, 20 push-ups a day for so many days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is typically what it would be. So how long is the challenge running for?
Well, a month, of course. 30 days.
Okay, 30 days.
Yeah. So
Yes.
if we, so yeah, so sorry to cut you off, Jake,
No,
but
you're good.
it'd be interesting to see if we felt any different or noticed any difference just by doing 20 push-ups a day for a month.
Yeah.
And we just go on the honor system.
Well, now that you're going to put it that way, apparently we can't.
Well, I would, because I'm as honorable as my beard is long. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it's feasible to be like, let's Zoom each other while we do push-ups.
No.
could you imagine?
That would
We'll
be
start
funny,
a whole
though.
new trend. It's like
Okay,
push-up
3,
Zooms.
4.
Zooming up
The
Daisy.
smart person would take their phone and just do this with it the whole time.
He's like, dude, I'm so worn out.
Look at this sweat. You see this sweat?
Eating the burrito, like eating something. Are you doing one-handers? Yeah, bro.
Yeah. What's the day today? The 19th?
Today's the 19th.
Okay, so tomorrow's the 20th.
Correct.
By my math.
Your math is correct.
So we go the 20th to the 20th?
Of May? Yeah,
we check in.
Yeah, that would work because.
Well, we'll check in throughout the week and
right
talk, and then there'll be a couple of these things. So that means that the World Wide Web will get to be in our World Wide Web of lies, because I'm going to do 200 push-ups a day.
Then after then after the 20th of May, then we see what we want to add.
Yeah. Do we want to? Let's just plan on 20 for now. And like you were saying, maybe upping it on a weekly basis or something might be good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Let's just not complicate it and start with 20 a day for 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
What if we do 30 on 30?
30 push-ups on day 30?
I just
30
need 30
push-ups
for
right
30,
now.
30 push-ups instead of 20. I'm just a dork because I do this karma thing so much, and I'm always thinking of stupid like I told my mom, I was like, you need to do a cooking show that's called Coven Sounds Like Oven, because I told her she needs to start a witch coven that's all cooking, and her name will be, we found it yesterday, I can't remember, but it's the witch from Hansel and Gretel that likes to fatten kids up. And so that's like her gimmick would be like, welcome to Coven Sounds Like Oven with, witch, I don't know what they call themselves, like witch leader. It's like red leader
The
of
head
who?
witch.
Yeah, the head witch. So, but yeah, so I'm always thinking of like, because as soon as they're like, oh, 30 on 30, that sounds, I'm just a dork.
Yeah. No, I think 20 push-ups a day for 30 days would be pretty good. If we wanted to kick it up after 2 weeks, that would be something to talk about, depending on how everyone's feeling.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what's
So,
good about this is, like we're saying, we all have these issues doing the little things, but if we do something like that we can see some results, it might, pick up spirits, give everybody a boost in the arm, and
mhm.
it won't hurt for while I'm out there talking about karma to people to, be
Fill
the
out a
push-up
little
king
better.
of push-up king of karma. That's what you could start, like a shawarma restaurant. So who says this? Oh, Mom. Okay.
Yeah, Mom's
Yeah.
talking about.
We don't cross
simple.
streams, Mom. We watch Ghostbusters. So, but
Well, okay. So starting tomorrow, 20 push-ups.
20
And then I'll
push-ups.
probably just text you guys or something after I do them or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good way
That's
to
a good
do it.
idea.
So,
In case we
yeah, this will be
forget.
fun.
Hmm.
Okay,
'Cause-
everyone's our witness now.
It's true.
Crap. Oh, crap. That's the thing. That's one of the good characteristics that we have, but it also sucks is that usually when I say we're going to do something, we end up doing it.
Hmm.
So
The old Pharaoh thing. So let it be
now
written,
I'm nervous.
so let it be done.
Now I'm nervous because push-ups suck too.
Rex,
I'm so lazy.
You don't got to be nervous until we start the Dr. Pepper challenge.
If it's like to drink Dr. Pepper,
No,
you guys don't stand a chance.
no, this is supposed to be good for our bodies.
Yeah, but that's just what the doctor ordered. 23 delicious vitamins and supplements packed into one delicious beverage, and I'm not getting paid for this. This is just I
Free
keep moving the
advertising.
camera. Yeah, it's just that damn good. The Dr. Pepper chat. We won't even. Yeah, I'm already nervous. You just got me sweating.
Yeah, he's broke out in a hop, all flushed and everything. And
Woo! I'm telling
can
you.
you imagine going without Dr. Pepper for 30 days?
He's done it before. He's not very pleasant, but he's done it before.
No. I honestly think maybe 3 days. Like we went to Japan, and it's hard to get Dr. Pepper, but I supplement it with Coca-Cola because that's
Right.
one of the flavors in Dr. Pepper is Coca-Cola. So,
Well,
but yeah, I've been addicted to soda pop my entire life. So, yeah, that
True.
would be brutal.
well,
But
Well, that would be a deal where, like, if you went without Dr. Pepper, then I would, like, go without these.
well, we won't get crazy now. So
Yeah, I
we'll
don't
start
wanna-
small with
that's
push-ups.
a little bit of a
I just
different
wanted to see a
story.
sweat. I just wanted to get you nervous a little bit.
Did you? Oh, you succeeded because it would be like the best thing I could do would be to stop drinking so much damn soda pop.
Those are usually the hardest things to do.
Yeah, they're brutal. They're brutal. But
They really are.
no, I think that this is a great one because I think it's gonna, something. It'll do something. At least we're doing something, and we're
Bingo.
being serious. Because first step to breaking the lazy bones is to, I guess, break some
Get
lazy
out and
bones.
move.
Well, that's what I need to do, man. I got a lot of work to do. My yard and everything is a joke. But we might just start with the push-up challenge. That'll kick off
Yeah.
the right attitude.
Got to start somewhere.
I think that's
And-
a good idea, man. Because I've got the same stuff. I've got yard work that I need to get done. I've got to get that podcast studio done so that we don't have to do this anymore. So that we can get together and sit in a room and actually chill and do it the way that we wanted to do it from the get go. Need to get that put.
That'll be fun. Have like a regular podcast studio set up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the idea. And that way we actually have a place where we can sit down and, this is great. The fact that we've been able to do these Zoom meetings and put it on this way has been awesome. But when you're around people and you can actually like see and take, those nonverbal cues from each other, it brings a whole different dynamic to what the conversation can have,
Yeah.
So,
Well, and
Yeah, it's just a little bit less choppy, a little more natural.
it's always good to get together and do that stuff. I was telling Jake, I was like, it'd be cool if you guys could play Magic over the game, the thing, and I'm sure you could, but that'd be weird because you'd have to set up multiple cameras, and then Jake was like, we couldn't do that because I got to read his cards and stuff. So, but
yeah, it's better just to get together.
Give her the go for it.
But that's exactly what you said. That's the beauty of it, is just getting together, and that's what'll be neat about this push-up challenge too. Is that's just more little communication we have throughout the week.
Well, and it might be fun. I don't know what all it would have to do, but I remember Dad used to go swimming with Grandpa all the time. Remember that?
Yeah.
Be something if maybe all of us could go swimming, like every other week or something. Take Dad. So
that would be good.
That way I could dunk him. I would dunk him in the water, Dad.
Hold him down.
Can you imagine? Hey, Dad. He'd kill you. It'd be funny though. So,
but that would be fun.
Well, I just remember, and I don't know where do you? I guess there's probably tons of swimming pools.
There's the big one is you could all get memberships to like a 24-hour fitness or something like that. I think Dad and Grandpa and those guys went to like the sports mall or something when they were doing it. Because you just got to find a place with a pool that you can get into, and then they would go at like 5 a.m. They would go super early is when they would go. Yeah, and that a big part of that is so that you can actually get into the pool, because throughout the day they tend to be pretty busy.
Well, early mornings are rough.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of did Riley have his birthday?
He did. It was Saturday.
He did.
Did you guys get together?
We took him out to dinner.
Dad and Sandy are out of town. So
they are?
Yeah, so there wasn't anything done that way. It was just me, Rex, and Mom took Riley to dinner for his birthday was all. And then he went out to the bar with a bunch of buddies. So
when does Dad and Sandy get back?
Tomorrow?
Yeah, right? Tomorrow, Tuesday. I was sitting there thinking, yeah, it's tomorrow. I got to pick him up. So, but.
Well, maybe we'll get together with Dad and Sandy and Ian and Riley and everybody for their birthdays.
Yeah, do a joint birthday thing this next weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all. Man, birthday.
I'll talk to Dad.
That's a good idea.
I pick him up tomorrow at like 2, so that'll be good. But Ian and Riley both 21. That's nuts. So
strange deal.
It sure is.
The more years go by, the faster they go by.
Yeah, that's the truth. Because it's like,
I feel like I'm gonna be dead in like 20 minutes.
No, we can't be thinking that way, man.
I know exactly what you mean. I said to Jake earlier, I was like, I'll be 80 tomorrow, and then it'll just be done. So, because it's like, what the hell is going on in 20 minutes? You're like, hurry up, I got dying to do.
Yeah, get busy living or get busy dying.
Yeah, no
we got Shawshank in the house. I didn't see old Freckles walk in though. That's the problem.
Yeah, he's always there. He's like Saint Nick. He watches over all things, and when narration is needed, pops out and gives his 2 cents. He goes, "Hello."
Yeah.
Who needs to be told about the things we do? That's nothing. That was awful because I didn't say anything. He'd be profound, but it's what happens when you're a whatever his name is.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm so
That's the
bad
guy.
with names, but God rest his soul. Joe Walsh wasn't that good with him either, but he got better. So
Yeah. That's the first thing I've remembered all day.
yeah. is what Joe Walsh
No, Morgan
Morgan Freeman.
But I can never forget about Morgan Freeman.
No,
Nobody can. He's Morgan Freeman.
I thought he was in the new Coming to America.
Yeah.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, I watched that, and the more it went on, it got better, and he was funny.
It was actually really funny.
Because it was
I started it but didn't finish it. But you think I should finish it?
Well, it's one to it's if we all sat down and watched it, I think you'd like, because I'd forgotten how much the first movie was like it was, because that one's all about him wanting to find a wife that won't just follow orders, and so it's like it was pretty woke for when it was made in all reality. And I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that. So it's kind of follows suit that way, but it's funny. It's got some stuff that's pretty good. And just the fact that they bring back a bunch of people from
basically the whole cast.
Yeah.
And
that's cool.
And they add in Wesley Snipes, and I thought Wesley Snipes did a great job in it.
He's been funny. He's been funny lately. Remember him in What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah.
His cameo in that was so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. Blade. Like
Yeah.
He's only half vampire, so I'm going to count half of his vote.
It's always
that show's
fun.
so clever, dude. That's so
I
good.
love that show. Yeah, it's always kind of fun when people don't take themselves too serious and they can joke about their former work and stuff like that, like Wesley Snipes did.
Well, and like Pee Wee Herman, he's in there as a vampire, but it's because he was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, he was one of the vampires in Buffy.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like everybody that's at that vampire council is an actor that's been a vampire.
Yeah. That's why they talk about Tom Cruise and
Interview with a Vampire. They're like, he doesn't take it serious like us. And it's like, too busy doing Scientology. That's
awesome.
But yeah, man, it's that show's clever. It's great. So
really clever.
And the characters they got in it are fantastic. So, but that Taika Waititi is really clever, and it's weird that humor of theirs, because it's not even British.
It's really cool and I really think that Lord of the Rings kind of opened a lot of doors for New Zealand filmmakers, or it would seem, because Lord of the Rings happened, and then we start seeing more and more stuff out of New Zealand, and they're funny. A lot of
talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're funny. Because it's like British humor, but not, because it's got like that New Zealand accent, and it's just weird, but it's got that same pace timing with,
what was it?
Late delivery. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
But I remember when I first saw that show, I told Ayame about it and showed it to her, because she's a super, horror fan and stuff like that. And I never watch any horror movies. It's always comedies for me. And that's because, it's just, life's already a horror show. I don't need to be reminded. But then I remember I told Ayame, I'm like, I watched this horror show. You got to check it out. And I turned it on and everybody's like, what the hell? So, but just, and then it just starts going and you're like, holy crap, dude, this is so great.
Mhm.
Because, yeah, just that little dumb stuff that you don't think about. Like, you know, how he's like, I can't eat my favorite food anymore. This is bull crap. So, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and the series and the show are almost two different things in a lot of ways. You know, same premise, but the series just, holy cow, it takes it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And how
really
awesome that
funny.
they're in it,
Mhm.
you know.
So,
But
too funny. Too funny. Those are guys that don't have to do a push-up challenge, though, I'll bet.
you kidding
No.
me? We're really doing this?
We're doing it, Rexy.
Son of a so and so.
It's
I'm
been
excited.
said.
Okay. So
20 push-ups, that's nothing. When you just wake up and do them, and
get all sweaty, then take a shower.
Mhm.
yeah,
I'm telling you, 20 push-ups, I'll be like dripping.
you'll be all
I'm
right.
terrible.
You know, it'll all be Dr. Pepper is the problem, Rex.
Sweating out the
Yeah.
hard stuff.
Yeah, put a bowl under you to catch the Dr. Pepper drippings.
Dr. Pepper drippings. That's
Yeah.
he's been
Oh, boy.
surviving on drippings alone. So that's great.
Well, guys,
Well, Jackie,
I think a 20 push-up a day challenge is a good place to end this because it's been a great chat, guys, and I think we've got a fun plan. I'm actually excited to try this out because I think
I'm already doing them.
Yeah, see, look at Rex; he's working out already.
yeah,
So
it's a good
Okay,
thing
guys,
you
well, I
held
love
your
you.
hand up, or I wouldn't have noticed you were
You'd
doing
have fallen for it. So,
Right.
And then I'm sitting on a couch. It's like, there you go. So
Hey, that's just the added weight that you're pushing. You know, you put the couch on your back so that you could, increase your resistance.
right.
Yeah.
That's
That's
right.
what it was. But
Okay.
until
Well,
the
hey-
next one, guys, there will be 2 weeks of 20 push-ups involved before the next karmic transmission, if you'll believe that.
We'll touch base before then, but
I'm sure
you
we
guys, a
will. Thank
year.
you so much for joining me, guys. Karmic Transmission 26 in the bag. Clint, I love seeing you, brother man. You too, Rexy boy. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Everybody else watching from home, we know we might have just talked about push-ups, but Karma's here and it's doing a lot of good stuff. If you want to find out more, check us out at karmaincarnate.com. So
Get ready to work out your heart and work out your business and work out your spiritual stuff or whatever. I don't know. Come work it out with
get
us.
to
at
work
Karmic.
out.
Yeah.
So,
it'll work out.
It's a total karmic workout.
Love you guys.
Okay.
love you
Love
guys.
ya.
Bye.